Welcome you all students, and in this session I going to solve one of the question from cycloidal curve. I have a question for you, just have a look at and try to read out and find which is the curve, right? So I will be reading out for you. A circle of diameter 40 mm rolls along the inside of another circle of diameter 200 mm without slipping. Draw the path traced by a point on the small circle. Also draw tangent and normal. So now you have a question and try to remember all the concept you have it in the cycloidal curve. Okay, and try to identify this question, which is the curve. I can say cycloid in the sense when a rolling circle rolls on the straight line path. Am I right? Yes. Epicycloid in the sense if a rolling circle rolls above another circle, that we can say it as a epicycloid. If it is a hypocycloid, if a rolling circle rolls inside of the another circle, right? So try to get the correct information. Here what it is given, circle rolls along the inside of another circle, inside. Here is the key point, inside in the sense it's a hypocycloid. Am I right? Yes. So we are going to draw the hypocycloidal curve, right? So first grabs all the given data, all the given data. So rolling circle diameter is mentioned, a circle of diameter is mentioned, that means small d as 40 mm, small d as 40 mm, and another circle of diameter 200 mm, which is nothing but a directing circle or base circle. I can say it's a capital D, 200 mm, okay, 200 mm. Okay, fine. So just remember the concept. I will show you a freehand sketch of the profile of hypocycloid. So I have a base circle, and inside of the base circle there is a rolling circle. The center O, which is base circle, and here is a center C, and contact point at the top traces the curve, which is a hypocycloid. You will get a profile something like this. Okay, and it makes an angle theta for one revolution. Okay, fine, right. So initially, in order to construct the profile, we must draw the OC line, this line. So we need this length, OC. So I can say OC as capital R minus small r, See, we are well familiar, base circle radius is capital R and rolling circle radius is small r. Am I right? The previous curve and all we discussed, so we know it's a capital R and small r. See, our OC is this distance. Am I right? This is our OC distance. I have mentioned capital R minus small r. That means I have subtracted from this distance the entire distance to this rolling circle radius. That means from the base circle radius I have reduced the radius of the rolling circle. That's why I have given capital R minus small r, Okay, fine. So do the calculation to find OC, capital R minus small r, That means we get small r is 20 mm radius, and capital R is 100 mm radius. So 100 minus 20, we get 80 mm. Okay, OC is 80 mm. So now we're going to initiate the first line, this OC, which is an unconditional line. That means it can be a straight line, or else it can be a horizontal line, or else it can be an inclined line. But the condition is it should possess the distance OC. It should measure 80 mm, but it can be either inclined line or else a vertical line. So after that, we can draw a rolling circle. See, look at this schematic diagram. This rolling circle is with the center C, right? Rolling circle is with the center C. So at the point C, I'm going to draw my rolling circle. So for which take 20 mm in your compass and keep C as center and go for a circle so that you get a circle. Like this manner. Now after having your rolling circle, just divide this rolling circle into 8 equal parts. So first just extend the line till the end of your circle. Okay, as this just extend the line so that you can divide it into 2 equal parts. Now keep your protractor as this manner in this position and measure 90 degree and go for a line passing through the center so that you can divide the circle into 4 equal parts. Again we have to do the work, so for which just keep the same position in the rolling circle. Protractor is being kept like this manner and read 45 degree and go for a line the same degree through the center till the end of your circle, right? The same manner in the opposite side, you can measure 45 degree in your protractor and go for a line passing through the center. So now look at the diagram. It is being divided into 8 equal parts. Now the rolling circle work is done. Next we can give the namings for the point on the circumference of the circle. Okay, so look at this basic diagram. In the introduction part, I said in order to get this profile of hypocycloid, this rolling circle rolls anti-clockwise direction to get the forward motion. It rolls anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so here it is rolling as this manner. In all the other cycloidal curve rotates, that means cycloid or else epicycloid, the rolling circle rotate in the clockwise direction, but here alone in the hypocycloid it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. But the change is see, we have the contact point at the top, so this must be the maximum point at the top. So this is the contact point, and what we have to do is we have to mention the numbers in the reverse direction of this motion. Okay, that means from the next point I'm going to take one and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, after drawing the rolling circle and the numbering, what we have to do is we have to draw the end line. This is the end line for one complete revolution. So we must know the theta angle, for which we know the formula small r divided by capital R into 360 degree, just like the epicycloid. Okay, do the calculation. So R is 20 and capital R is 100 into 360. If you do so, you will get 72 degree as theta, 72 degree. What is next? Just keep the protractor in the OC line as O center as this manner, and you are measuring 72 degree approximately. I can say here would be the 72. So just noting that, go for a straight line. Just go for a straight line little above the circle, and after having it, how to divide this portion into 8 equal parts. Before that we have work, afterwards we can do the divisions. Okay, so before that we have to take the line from each and every points on the circumference. Okay, so here is the 8 point, here is the 8 point. What we have to do is you take the compass and keep one leg of your compass on O and stretch it off and measure 8 and go for an arc, so that you could see the formation like this. You will get an arc like this. And next, from the first point, go for a arc with the center O. Okay, just measure it from O to this first point. I can say this 7th point and first point comes in a same locus line. As this. And measure a distance from O to 6, because 6 and 2 comes in a same locus point, same locus line. So go for a arc. Next, measure O to 5 and go for a arc, so that you could see 5th point and 3rd point coming the same locus. Measure O to 4 and have an arc. So now we have taken all the lines from the circumferential points, and one more is remaining. From the center we have to take the locus. So stretch your compass and measure O to C and go for a arc. And the center should be long line dot. It is specially we are drawing for the center line. Okay, it is in order to differentiate the path is for center. We are just doing long line dot, something like that. Okay, yes. Now it is perfectly ready to divide the path. That means this segment, you could see the V-like shape, right? This angle, 72-degree angle, into 8 equal parts. Now we are going to divide it. So for that we are going to use the method like the epicycloid and cycloid. We are going to use the method of bisection, for which this is one end and this is another end. So take your compass and stretch it off more than off. Take more than off and go for an arc. You are taken more than off and you are keeping one leg on 8th point and you had an arc. With the same measurement, keep at the opposite end and go for an arc. And drop this line to the point O. Now it is divided into 2 equal parts. Again the work has to be continued. So just see, this is our segment and this is another segment. So now I can do the separation for this segment. So take more than half of this segment. Keep at the one end and just go for an arc. And keep with the same measurement, keep on the another end and go for an arc, so that you will get intersection point. From that you can drop a line to the O. The same thing should be followed in the next segment. So this is our segment. So take more than half of this and keep at this point and go for an arc, and just with the same measurement keep in the opposite end and go for a cut mark and drop the line to the O. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 separation. We need 8 equal parts, right? So again we can do the separation for each and individual segment. So take more than half of this portion and go for an arc and keep at the another end and have a cut mark. We will get a intersection point, drop a line to O. Next, measure more than half of this segment and from the other end you can cut and drop a line. Same manner here, take more than half, have a cut mark, from the other end have a cut mark, drop a line. Measure more than half, have a cut mark, from the other end cut, drop a line to O. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 separation. And next we can give the namings. So since the rolling circle is having the contact in the topmost portion, we have to notate the numbering in the topmost periphery of the base circle. Okay, this is the topmost points. So I'm going to take this as 1 dash and this is 2 dash, this is 3 dash, this is 4 dash, this is 5 dash, this is 6 dash, this is 7 dash, this is 8 dash. Okay. Next, pick the center point. That means how to look for the first line intersection with the center of locus. So first line is intersecting here. So I can say this is the C1, and see the second one which is intersecting here, and this would be your C2. Third line you can see here. So this is a C3, and here you can see the C4, and here you can see the intersection with the locus of center, or this would be your fifth C5, and next here is the C6, and here C7, and here C8. Okay, almost all the construction work is been completed. Now the remaining thing is we need to pick all the point to conclude the profile of the hypocycloid. Okay, so it's the same procedure as like epicycloid. What we did there, just we measure the rolling circle radius, right? The same thing we are going to do. We are taking the measurement rolling circle as a constant measurement to pick each and every point, because at any position the distance from the center to the outer periphery, it doesn't going to change, right? It won't change. It always show the constant if it moves to any position. So we are fixing the radius as a constant one. So for which we are measuring radius of the rolling circle, and just keep it in your compass and keep at the point C1. Keep at the point C1 and look for the first locus line. Here is the first local. Keep at the C1 as a center. Keep C1 as a center and go and cut in the first line. Keep C2 as center. Cut in the second line. Here is the second line. So approximately, you can say here you could get, right? And keep at C3 and go for a cut mark in the third line. Keep at C3 and have a cut mark in third line. So here you could get, right? From the C4, search for the fourth line. So I can say it will come to the minimum point. It touches the minimum. Okay, this is the fourth one. From the fifth, just have a cut mark in the fifth line. Here is the fifth line. You have a cut mark. So I can say here you will get. From the sixth, just have a cut mark. Here is our sixth line locus from the rolling circle. So just have a cut mark. So approximately here you will get. From the seventh, have a cut mark. Here you will get in the seventh line. You will get in the seventh line. And from the eighth one, just have a cut mark. You will get at the end, rightmost top end, you will get the cut. If it is perfect, right, you will get it. Okay, now try to join all those points. I can say here is the point. If you draw a smooth curve, by joining all those picked points, here it is coming. All those picked points, you could see evidently the formation of the hypocycloid. First you must trace out the curve using a 2H pencil. It should be very thin, and just conclude it. And if you have a confidence, you can go for a HP pencil and go for a very dark line. So I'm going with a dark line. The smooth hand trace out the same path. So we will get like this. Okay. So I can say this is the P1, this is P1, and this would be second point P2, and here P3, and here P4, P5 is a P6, and here it is P7 and P8. Okay, this is our profile. Only this diagram should, curve should be dark. All the other construction lines should be very thin. So look at the question. Also draw tangent and normal. We don't have any condition. Just it is mentioned. Draw a tangent and normal. Okay. So just it is your wish. Take a point anywhere on the curve. Just take a point. I am just preferring at this particular place. I just prefer the point here. Okay. And the same procedure like epicycloid. Take the measurement of the rolling circle and keep the center, keep the one leg of your compass on the preferred point and go and have the cut mark in the locus, so that you get a arc here. And from this what you have to do is just go for a line to connect O, just go for a line to connect O. At that time you can see this line must be taken to the base circle. So this is the base circle periphery. So what you have to do is just have a cut mark and just take the reference of O and just have a long line. It should intersect your base line which is at the top. Okay, so I have a point here, So from this point just draw a line through the preferred point, You can say this is the normal n dash. You can note it as n dash. And if you draw a 90-degree line passing through the outer periphery of the profile, you can say it's a tangent. So for which keep your protractor and measure 90 degree and just try to pass a 90-degree line. It should touches the outer periphery. So I can say this is a T and T dash. Okay. Now all the construction works got over. Now it's time to mark the dimensions. So in order to mark the dimension, first we can start with the rolling circle diameter. So from the both end just draw a extension line. It should be a 90 degree. From the both end just draw like this manner. From both ends just draw a 90-degree line and have a dimension line just capturing filled arrow marks at both ends and just write on the top pi 40 mm, diameter 40, just like this. Okay, and next we have a base circle diameter. For that so this is our base circle diameter, this is our base circle. So from the O to this 8th point just have a measurement and go for an arc, and from the O I am going to mark the dimension. Just do it like this. I have marked the radius, so capture the filled arrow at one end alone. Okay, and right above the line R 100. Can write R 100. Okay, so dimension got over. Next thing is a texting. It is an important work. For that we are familiar now. We are getting familiar. So to do the texting, we have to open a guideline with 5 mm gap. Okay, and here tangent and normals are there. So I am going to start with the normal n dash. Write n dash as normal. Okay, and again open the guideline and write tangent T dash as tangent. Type tangent, and next one more thing is there. We have used the standard units in order to notate all the measurement, right? So we have to capture all dimensions are in mm. All dimensions are in mm. All dimensions are in mm. I hope you all understood how to construct the hypocycloid, and I will be coming with another video with another question. Thank you so much.